What is going on, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be going over the best controller and FPS settings for the new Warzone map, Stand. Let's go ahead and get right into the best FPS settings first, and then we'll follow it up with the best controller settings so you guys can be beaming and frying everybody. Go ahead and go into graphics and start with display mode. This is going to be full screen exclusive. Every single first-person shooter you play, you're going to want to have it on this. It helps with really just overall FPS and really gives you about a 10% boost when playing compared to the other ones. Display monitor is going to be set to whatever your main gaming monitor is. Display adapter, pretty self-explanatory. Screen refresh rate 240 for me. Again, this is all personal preference depending on what you play on. For me, I play on a 240 hertz monitor, so I have it set to 240 and a 1440p for the display resolution. If you're playing on 1080p, swap it to that. If you're playing on 1440p, make sure you have it on the right settings. This will allow you to have the best overall quality while playing the game. Aspect ratio, we have it set to 16.9. The shaders is set to the same. Brightness, I have it at 50%. The NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency, I have this set to on. Eco Mode Efficiency, VSync off. VSync menus, 100%. Custom frame rate, I have it unlimited. Focus mode at 0. HDR at off. And then that is it for the display. Hop on over to quality. For graphic preset, I have this on recommended. This is all going to be personal preference again compared to what your build is. But for me, this is what works. I have render resolution set to 100. For the dynamic resolution, I have it set to off. Upscaling, sharpening, I have fidelity cast on, and then I have it show more, and I have it set to 90. This will help with like the overall sharpness look of your game. I really like it in multiplayer, and I personally like a more sharper image while playing the game, so I have it set to 90. You can play around with this, lower it or put it up higher, really depending on what you want. Path tracing, I have it set to off. VRAM scale target, I have it 80. Variable shading on. NVIDIA DLSS frame generation off. Texture resolution high. Texture filter on normal. Depth of field off. Detail quality high. Particle resolution very low. Bullet impacts on. Persistent effects off. Shader quality high. On-demand texture streaming off. Local texture stream quality low. Shadow quality low. Screen spatial shadows off. Ambient occlusion off. Screen space reflections off. A lot of these settings, guys, are going to really just lower your FPS and not really allow your game to look that good. So I'd have a lot of them to low or off, especially depending upon your build. This is going to tear into your PC and really not make things look that sharp or really a good quality image. Static reflection I have set to low. Tessellation near. Volumetric quality low. Deferred physics quality off. And then wave wetness for the water quality. For view, this is important, guys. If you play multiplayer, you probably have this set to a lower FOV. I go ahead and play on 120 on Warzone. Allows you to see more and kind of get a better feel for the map while you're flying around and parachuting through the map. ADS field of view, I have it on affected. If you play it on independent, it will zoom everything in. Personally, I don't think that's the best look for Warzone, so I have it on affected. Weapon field of view, I've set to Y. This basically allows your weapon to look smaller while running around the map, so you're going to be able to visually see more while you're playing the game. Third person field of view set to 80. Vehicle field of view set to Y. It's going to make the vehicle look smaller again or further away. World motion blur off. Weapon motion blur off. Film grain 0. It's going to make your game look like complete trash, so make sure you guys turn those off. First person and third person camera movement. The default set to 100. Make sure you guys change this down to 50. If it feels like you're in war and running around the map, it's going to be super shaky looking. Definitely lower that all the way down to 50%. For the ADS transition, I have it to third person ADS, game perspective, and then inverted flashbang I have off. You can change this to on if you want. Basically make your flashbangs black instead of white if it tears or messes up with your eyes. For the audio settings, I have my stuff optimized through a guy named Art is War. It's really the best settings you can have. I have home theater. Windows default, 80 master volume, and then make sure you guys copy all of these right here. This will allow you guys to hear more of those gunfights and really the footsteps around you while not hearing too many airstrikes and different things like that. Voice chat on, obviously it's personal preference. Really just depends whether you want it to be on or off or not. And then you guys can kind of copy the rest of these right here. All right, let's get into the best settings and everything that you guys have been waiting for. These are the best controller settings to help you improve in Warzone. There's a lot under gameplay and a lot under controller. For the aiming input device, I have it set to controller. We're playing Call of Duty. Remember, you want your aim assist. Definitely change that there. If you're playing mouse and key, get used to the controller, baby. Button layout is going to be personal preference. I've been playing tactical flipped for a long time. This is something I've been using for 10 plus years before Scuff and Battle Beaver and all these controllers were invented. And then I play flipped because I got used to it. So I shoot with my bumpers instead of the triggers. Again, this is personal preference, but this is what's comfortable for me. The bumper ping, I have it set to off. And then flip, like I said, is on. Stick layout is going to be default. Controller vibration, turn it off, baby. It's not the move, man. Trust me. Vibration's really going to throw off your shot. Turn it off, get used to it. Shoot bots, run around the map, and really take your time to get used to playing without that vibration. Dead zone inputs. This is a very important one. If your shot ever feels off or you feel like you're struggling to hit people, definitely check your dead end zones. The minimums are usually set to 10. The max is 99. For the left stick here, I have it lowered down to 1. This is going to be your movement stick. the way you run around the map and get around the map. You want the minimum as small as it possibly can without having too much stick drift. And then the maximum is going to be 80. So basically what this means is, I've explained it in videos prior. I have to reach 80% of my thumbstick to the outer ring of my controller, and then I will reach maximum sprint speed. Whereas if it's at 100, it has to touch the edge of the ring. So basically what that means is I will start reaching a maximum sprint speed when it's 80% of the way there to the ring of the controller. So it allows me to start moving quicker when I want to move. The character's already moving instead of me having to require a little bit more effort. So, I mean, whether it's milliseconds or just a tiny little bit of time differential, it's going to help you. So I definitely have that set a little bit lower. Don't go too low with the max, because it will actually throw off your movement and make you fall off certain ledges or doing certain jump spots. For the right stick, this is going to be your aiming stick. I have mine set to 3. You can play around with this. This is the one where a lot of people say that they get, that stick drift or that stick drag, whatever you want to call it, and where it kind of moves by itself. But realistically, when you're aiming around at a target, you're going to want the least amount of input delay possible. So the higher you put this up, the more input delay you're going to have. The lower you put it up, the faster your response time is going to be on your controller. So if you're, making those micromanagement adjustments at long range, you're going to want that to feel pretty accurate to what you're doing, to what is on the screen. So I have mine set to 3, and then the max at 99. This overall has allowed me to really beam people at all ranges, and it feels like I said, I'm kind of getting that instant response time. Like I said, if your shot ever feels off, make sure to check these. Make sure they don't ever kind of get reset. I've seen it in the past, and seen good teammates of mine and friends of mine who it's happened to, and they can't hit anything, and then they change it, and now they're beaming. For the aiming, I have my horizontal sense to 6, and then the vertical sense to 9. Make sure you guys don't have this set to custom, because custom actually puts this advanced setting to 1.2, which is going to throw off your aim. I've been playing at 6.6 for a long time, but with Warzone, I switched it to 9 and then changed my ADS sensitivity multiplier to 0.8. Try it out. If you're a 6.6 guy, like I said, this is something I put on for a long time, and I finally switched it, and it feels really good to me. It feels like when I'm chasing people up and down staircases, I can kind of look up, look down a lot faster, but then my side to side and my long range shot is not bad at all. So I've been having fun with it. I'm going to stick with it and see kind of what I can do. But I've been absolutely frying and loving the way I've been feeling on the map. So I would definitely give this a go. Again, I just have the multiplier set to 0.8. You can get all into this stuff and get specific if you want, but I don't do all that. It kind of just throws everything off. I'm an old school guy who's played Call of Duty for a long time. I like the most specific and basic settings there can be for aiming. For the dynamic aim response curve type, I have it set to dynamic. It's usually on standard. Dynamic obviously has been a broken mechanic that's been added since Modern Warfare 3 2019, and I absolutely love it. So I would definitely try dynamic, especially on Warzone. It helps you hit those long range shots, and overall, once you get used to it, it'll feel a lot smoother. And then for the aim assist type, I know there's been a lot of talk about this. Black Ops feels incredible in this game. I don't care what anybody says. At those long range shots, you actually get aim assist. With default, it feels like you lose it. Obviously, if there's 2 players and it's like bowling pins, sometimes it can throw it off a little bit, but the chances that that actually happens is very little. And I'd rather be beaming my opponent's long range, no problem. And then the rest of this stuff, the motion sensor behavior is off. And then this is kind of where it gets specific to Warzone. And make sure you guys pay attention. I would pause the video if you need to. This is very important. For automatic tactical sprint, I have this on. This again allows you to not have to click in your left stick. There's a lot of sprinting on Warzone. It's a very big map. And you have to maneuver around the map a lot. So you don't want to break your left stick. So I have this basically, all I got to do is push the left stick forward and then bang. Now I'm fully sprinting. For the slide, I have this off. For the auto move forward, I have off. And then tactical sprint behavior, it's double tap. Grounded mantle I have on. Automatic airborne mantle is partial. Automatic grounded mantle is off. And then slide dive behavior. This is one that's been really talked about a lot recently, because basically in this game, it feels like Call of Duty wants you to do one or the two, right? If you have dive on, your basically slide cancel is a little bit slower and delayed. And then if you have slide only and don't have the dive on, your slide cancel feels like Modern Warfare 3 2019, and overall just feels a lot better. I've been playing all day today, and I can tell you that I need the slide more than I need the dive, right? I feel like the slide helps me in so many more engagements and gunfights than the dolphin does. Dolphin dive just maneuvering around the map. I'll play with this one. I think slide only is going to be the wave personally. I think dolphin diving is really only good for jumping off cliffs and different things like that. But overall, the map is pretty smooth and level. And I feel like slide only for me has benefited me a lot more. For the parachute auto deploy, make sure you guys set this to off. If it is on plane only or always, basically what that means is when you're diving in and landing in, people are going to beat you to power spots and beat you to the guns off the break of the map, because auto deploy pulls you at like 20 meters, and it basically allows you have to cancel it again, where this allows you to, you'll splat if you don't pull your chute. So it's going to help you. It's going to take some time to get used to, but I promise overall it'll help you improve. I have it on set to mantle only, and then sprinting DoorDash is on. Aim down sights behaviors obviously hold. Change it, zoom activation is sprint. Equipment behaviors hold. Weapon mount is whatever it's set to be. All this stuff is pretty basic. You're going to want to change the interact reload behavior though to prioritize interact. If you guys are a multiplayer guy and you're switching over, make sure you change it from tap to reload to prioritize interact. It's going to speed up that entire looting process, allow you to kind of get into engagements and get ready for that next gunfight a lot faster than it would on tap to reload. All you have to do is click square once and you're picking up the weapon, picking up the gun, picking up the plates, whatever it may be. Then for armor plate behavior, make sure you have this set to apply all, right? Obviously, if you're in gunfights, you're finessing and running around the map, you don't want to be holding triangle or holding Y, whatever it may be for you guys, constantly while you're just plating up in fights. You're going to want to just hit it one time, and then you can put your thumb back to your right thumbstick and start getting ready for the gunfight, and, having that on your aim stick. You don't want to be holding that down on triangle. It's really a pointless way to play. So I would definitely use this as a huge tip, and it's improved my gameplay a ton. The rest of this stuff is pretty basic, guys. I'll go through this so you guys can go ahead and copy it, but those are the big settings you're going to want to change for Warzone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys will be absolutely frying now with these settings. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment down below what other types of videos you'd like to see. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Peace.